Okay, the next step, and we're almost done, is to mount the iron sights and then mount the red dot sight as well if you got one. So mount the iron sight. If you have an A2 which has this already built in, then it's only going to be the back sight. So mount the back sight. You could put it wherever's comfortable, but I tend to mount it back, depending on where you're at, back pretty far. And now we're going to bore sight, which gets us close enough sighting it in so that when you go to the range you can do some fine tuning. So step here, mount the back sight. You can mount the red dot before this or at the same time if you want to. We're going to take the empty chamber indicator out by withdrawing your bolt. I'm going to do the hold open, and then I'm going to pull this out. Again, making sure that nobody's in front of us or downrange, even though there's no ammo at this event. This is the only thing that's going to look close to a bullet at the event. It's a bore laser sighter, and as you can see, there is a laser beam coming out of the end. I'm going to put that in the chamber. Be careful not to let the bolt carrier group slam home on your hand. And then have it go in there, and then gently release the bolt back down. That's going to hold it in place. Now as you see, it's projecting that laser beam out of the bore. That's the path of the bullet. So the first thing to do is, if you come over here and look downrange, there's a target or a little tiny dot on the wall. You probably can't see it in the video, but there's a high one, which is where we're aiming, and a low one, which is where we want the laser. Don't worry about why there's two. It's just the path of the bullet versus the path of where we're looking. So the first thing we want to do is sight in, or we want to aim at the top sight, or aim at the top bullseye, but have the laser be in the bottom bullseye. So if I pull it up and I aim, however you want to aim, and then aim at the top, I see mine's a little low and to the right. So how do you move that dot to get it close? Well, there's two adjustments. Depending on your model, here's the standard A2 model, so your mileage may vary. First, we're going to adjust up and down. And to adjust up and down, you use this sight adjustment tool. And you plug it in here, and it's a little hard to do. Make sure there's one with an end with 4 and an end with 5. I'm going to use the end with 4 because I have 4 detents. And I plug that in here, and you wiggle it, and then you're able to turn the sight to adjust it up or down. If I want that laser beam to go up, then I turn it clockwise. If I want the laser beam to go down, then I turn it counterclockwise. Likewise, if I want to do left to right, I adjust this back sight. If I turn it clockwise, the laser beam goes right. If I turn it counterclockwise, the laser beam goes left. So the first step, mount the sights, put that in there, look down, get the aim where you want, and make sure that that laser beam is roughly to the sight of aim of where you're aiming. It should be slightly lower, just because of the path of the bullet. Then, when we're done with that, you can eject. You can take out, sometimes you gotta wiggle it down, take out the laser sight, set that aside. I'm gonna put back in my empty chamber indicator. I'm gonna hold open the bolt, put this in, hold it, release that bolt carrier group. There, not safe, we're safe again. Then, it doesn't matter, I'm just going to look onto the target even though there's no projected dot. And I'm going to turn on my laser sight, or my red dot. So if you could zoom in here, it's going to be really tough. Okay, so you could see where you're looking down the sight line. Then turn on your red dot, and you want your red dot to be at the same point of aim as your iron sights. Then you just adjust your red dot up and down as needed. While looking through, you could turn it to make sure that your red dot is lined up with the path of your iron sights. You may, depending on your setup, have to put in a riser block. That's what this is, to raise the scope up. So if you have a standard A2 pistol or rifle build like this, in this small scope, you're going to have to put in this little riser block to get those to co-witness. That means having your iron sights be exactly the same point as your red dot. Okay, if you need help with this one, just come and get me. I'm floating around, or have somebody else come and help you get it on paper. Again, this is so when you get to the range, it's very close, and then you can just fine tune it from there. Thanks.